Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and it's been a while. I need to get better at actually filming, but by the by, it happens, shit happens, life happens. But I am back because I've accumulated some books. I thought I would do a book haul, a quick little book haul, and share with you the things I've got from Waypoint Books. Now if you don't know about Waypoint Books, it is run by my very good friend and housemate Hannah, and it's an indie online bookshop, and she's very good at also getting books in that isn't on the website, but they are always linked down below in the description box, because if you buy a book from Hannah, you're actually helping us both out because it helps us pay rent. So do that if you haven't already. So there's a subscription box called the full moon or half moon box, and the half moon box you get one book, and the full moon box you get two books, and one of those is a book you pick and the other one is a surprise book from Hannah. So I always really enjoy those. I have got a few of those. Again, Waypoint is linked down below. So let's just get into it, shall we? A lot of these are sequels, some of them aren't, but I'll tell you when we get there. So, first book on the pile is Mina and the Cult by Amy McCall. Now, Amy McCall, I've linked their channel down below, but they are absolutely fantastic. This is a YA vampire novel. The first one is Mina and the Undead, and we follow a young teenager called Mina and her trip to New Orleans and all the vampires, etc., etc. It's wonderful. I really, really enjoy this. If you have not read this series yet, I definitely highly recommend it. Amy's writing is absolutely fabulous. I really enjoy how kind of easy the plot is to grasp. There is nothing super complicated about it, but I love Amy's take on vampires. It's very classical, and yeah, this is just an all-round good time. So yeah, New Orleans, it made me want to visit New Orleans as well, so, which I already did want to, but this kind of solidified the fact that I definitely wanted to go and visit New Orleans. But yeah, this is the third book in the series, so I won't spoil it. I haven't read it yet, but it is definitely on my radar, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if that's going to stay there. The second book in this haul is The Angel of Indian Lake by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a third book in a trilogy. This is the Indian Lake trilogy, which I have really enjoyed. The first one is My Heart is a Chainsaw. We follow teenager Jade Daniels and the final girls that they meet. And I absolutely love Stephen Graham Jones' writing. If you have followed me for a bit, he is one of my all-time kind of will pick up anything he's written type thing. There are a couple that I haven't enjoyed, some of his novellas, but I really enjoyed the My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I really liked the Don't Fear the Reaper. Not as much as My Heart is a Chainsaw, but I did enjoy it, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. Again, I'm not going to say too much because it is the third book in a trilogy, and I do not want to spoil the trilogy for you, but it is amazing. Next up is Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. I know really nothing about this. I think it's a thriller, YA, mystery, psychological horror. I could be talking out my ass, but this has been on my radar for ages. I wasn't aware of how long this was though, but I really enjoyed Shauna Maguire Every Heart Doorway. I really enjoyed that, so I'm really hopeful that I'll enjoy this the same way. It looks cool though, the cover's cool. I really like the kind of simplicity of it, and I think it is referenced in another one of her books. So I've read one of them, and I think it was referenced in that, so I'm kind of interested to see how it all ties in. That was the worst plot synopsis for a book I think I have ever given, which is saying something. But it's big, and if I like John Maguire's writing, so I think I'm in good. I think I'm in an okay place to enjoy this one. We're on the trilogy game, so let's continue. But next is The Troublemakers by Tamsin Merchant, and I really like The Hatmakers. This is the third book in the Hatmakers trilogy. This is middle grade, and we follow Cordelia Hatmaker and all of her adventures. And what I love about this book is it is such a fun read. All of these books have been really fun. The Hatmakers was absolutely stunning, and if I'm right, this will also be just as pretty. It is just as pretty. So yeah, the naked hardcovers for these are amazing. But it's set in London, and there are adventures with the Queen, I think it's Queen Victoria, but it is just so much fun. And if you like middle grade books, or you want something a little bit different, this is 100% one that I would recommend. Highly recommend. So this isn't a trilogy, but it is in a series. This is Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. This one I am very excited to get to. I just finished my reread of the Aragon saga, the series, and I now have Murtagh. And Murtagh is long awaited. I mean, I think the last book was in 2011 or something. Might have been slightly later than that, but still, it has been years and years and years. And so, like, I am one of the ones that have been waiting for ages. Murtagh is such a complex character, and obviously we've got Murtagh and Thorn, his dragon, and I'm just so excited to get to this one. Again, I'm not going to spoil too much, but Murtagh is a character in the Aragon series, and he's a very complicated character. I think I've said that before. I think I literally am just repeating myself. But I am very excited to read it. So, next up are some of my book box picks, and this one is the first one. It's A Drop of Venom by Sajni Patel. This is one of the Rick Riordan Presents, and Rick Riordan Presents is basically authors of colour being championed by Rick Riordan's publishing company. So he is promoting own voices authors, which I think is really, really cool. But this is I believe it's going to be a Medusa type thing. I've never heard of it before. I've never seen the cover before, but I am interested. It's a very floppy paperback, which we love to see. I do trust Hannah though, because I think Hannah has picked me ballers nearly every single time. So I'm intrigued. I do know nothing about this, but I think it's a YA monsters and who's the real monster. I think that's what we'll be discussing this, but I am excited to get to it. So this one. Next up again is one I know nothing about, and that is The Death I Gave Him. This is a Hamlet retelling-ish, I think. It's going to be a psychological sci-fi thing, horror maybe. I'm excited. It's something I have never heard of again. Hannah does this thing where she finds these works that I literally have never heard of, and then I read the synopsis and I'm like, that's absolutely for me, but I think it's going to be experimental. I think it's going to be brutal. I don't know if this is adult or YA. I would guess that it's YA. I could be completely wrong, but I am really excited for this. It's by MX Leo, and I'm sorry if that's wrong, but I'm excited again. This book is so cool though. It's so bright. It's pink and bright green. I think it's quite boring under the cover. It might not be though. Yeah, it's just black on the underside. But can't have it all, I suppose. But yes, again, another one that I'm excited to give a go. Next on the list is Skullduggery Pleasant, A Mind Full of Murder. Now, this is the reboot of Skullduggery Pleasant. This is a whole new series. I think it's book number 16. Yes, 16. I was right the first time. Book number 16 in this series. This follows Skullduggery Pleasant and Valkyrie Kane. And yeah, book 1 starts as middle grade. I think they do age up to YA, in my opinion. But that is only my opinion. But I do really love this series. It is so fun. Derek Landy has such a great authorial voice. He is such fun and like genuinely such a good series if you're looking for something. Again, for younger readers who you want the series to grow up with them, 100% I can recommend Skullduggery Pleasant. They are such great reads. Another sequel here. That is The Hidden Queen by Peter V. Brett. This is the sequel to The Desert Prince. Now, I really enjoyed The Desert Prince. It followed an intersex teen in this fantastical world, and they had to choose if they wanted to be a princess or a prince, basically. It was the first time they were given a choice, and it was kind of following their journey basically and the things that happen to them. And I believe we'll be doing the same in here. There are demons, there are gods, kings, queens, are all kind of corrupt government, and people react differently than the character imagines. They are very pleasantly surprised, I'd probably say. But I'm really, really excited to get to this one again. I can't really say much because I don't know what happens in these books, but again, it is a series, it is a YA, and yeah, these books are also huge, so bear that one in mind. Last but not least, but an extremely big book again, because apparently, even though I'm not reading, I want to be reading these really huge books. So it is Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This is the sequel to Empire of the Vampire, and it was literally the vampire book I have been screaming for. Now, J. Kristoff isn't the nicest person outside of authorship. He's a bit of a dick, actually, and people don't really mention that very often. But unfortunately, he's really, 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 really good at writing, which is really frustrating because I've loved everything he's ever written. But Empire the Vampire, if you liked Name of the Wind, it has that plus vampires, that kind of vibe, I would say, for me. There are some really cool illustrations in these books, and I'm absolutely in love with this writing style. And this cover is beautiful. Like, look at that stunning artwork. But I am very, very, very excited to get to this again, and I'm not going to spoil too much, but it's about basically a vampire who has been captured, and we are finding out how he got there, basically. That is what the story is about, and it's retelling it, and there are interjections from the present, which is really, really fun. I love that a lot. So yeah, I don't really think there is much else to say about it, other than if you were looking at Empire of the Vampire and thinking, shall I pick this up? Yeah, I think you should. I think you absolutely should pick this up. So there is that. Let me know which book I should start reading first. Let me know any thoughts on these books. Just a reminder, Waypoint is linked down below, so if you are thinking about getting yourself or anyone else a book, then consider getting it from there. If you made it to this part of the video, please comment anything you like, maybe a book sack emoji, that's always great. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks guys, bye!